So in this video we are going to look at how to create a moving platform. So we've got a basic environment that's got our little first person character standing on a static platform and a red arrow down the bottom. So what we want to do is go and add some platforms onto a level that we can move around on. So we're just going to create that object. So I'm just going to make a new scene with another node, and I'm actually just going to use a CharacterBody 3D, and we'll just add it as a box platform, and as usual, collision shape 3D and a mesh instance, and I'm just going to use just some 5x5 blocks for this. Keep it nice and simple. We'll just give that a texture. Just to make our lives a little bit easier so we can sort of see it. Okay, that's good enough. Save it. Don't need scripts. The reason why we've used a CharacterBody 3D is so that our player will move on top of this. If you just have it as a rigid body, the game's going to get sort of stuck. Or the character will stay in place and the platform will move and you'll fall off. So unless you want that mechanic, we're just going to have a separate box platform. Now I've got my environment. I'm just going to find my object, which is in my models folder. Box platform in here. Okay, why is that start platform up really high? It's actually not. Just that one is actually really low. So let's bring that up. And we'll just get it in line, roughly in line with our character. Actually, let's put it in front of them. Let's just check that works. Cool, so that's there. Okay, so we've got our little platform here, and what we're now going to do is actually add an animation player onto this. I'm going to add an animation, new, rise lower, and we will just lock in its position. And this one, we'll have it take, let's say 6 seconds. We're going to keep it in place at that one location. Move it up, say 5 units, lock that in place, and lock that there as well. Now if we play this animation, we've got our rising. But note, if we go and play this, I've set the autoplay and I'm going to loop it. So I'm just going to stand off the edge, get to the top, and it jumps back down. So reason being, in my animation, I actually only set it to go up. So what I'm going to just do is let's actually have it move down a bit faster. So I'm just going to extend that out to 9 seconds. And we'll just have our finishing location is at that finish point. So we'll jump back on the box platform and just lock it in. So let's go and preview that, and we should hopefully have our little character that moves up, or a platform that moves up, and then it comes back down. And in our animation, we had that locked. Okay, so I'm actually going to just duplicate this blocks platform, but on this one, I'm actually going to make another animation called left and right in this animation player. Let's take this, and I'm just going to move that out to the side. Let's just lower it down a little bit. And this animation, I will do the same. I'm going to transform it, get a locked first position. Let's make this about 10 seconds. We'll slide it across. Actually, not position 0. Let's actually lock it in so that it stays still. Oh, why did I do rotation? I don't want rotation at that point. Position. So 3.5 seconds. Let's move it here. Let's lock that in place. Let's also spin it. Oh, sorry, let's get that back in its original place. At 3.5, we've locked it there. We're also going to lock our rotation in at this point. Go out to, say, 6 seconds. Move across, spin. Lock both of those. Let's hit play just so we can see there's nothing for the last few seconds. If we start from the beginning, move out, go, start spinning. And we've got our movement. Let's also autoplay that one and loop it. And let's preview. So we've got our side. We've got it on here, see how it moves with us. And once again, this animation didn't have anything to finish or to reset it. So hence why it just triggered and jumped all the way back. Okay, the final thing we want to go and add is a box platform that will only rise and lower when the character stands on it. So what I'm going to do is just duplicate one of the existing ones. I'm going to go back to my 3D mode. So what we're going to have a look at is original box platform. Where are the other ones gone? Okay, so I've got my box platform 3. I'd actually pre-made an earlier one, so I'm actually just not going to ignore that at this point. Okay, let's go and edit these animations, and I'm just going to delete that pre-made one that I had. Just so we've only got our original. So let's go and have a look at our scene. Okay, it's got our first one there, next one, and box platform 3. Let's see where that is. Okay, so it actually looks like I've actually gone and stacked all 3 of those on top of each other. Okay, so that's not great. So let's actually just take in a whole new box platform. Let's come in at the origin. I'm actually just going to go into my animation editor. And I'll just check that these are on the right. Yeah, there we go. We just click on those and it's going to reset them. Let's pull this box over here. We're going to modify this one a little bit differently. So we're going to go and add a child node. We're going to add an area 3D because that's what we use for our collision detection. Okay, and then we're going to add a collision shape onto that. Just going to spin around just so I can actually see it. Go into our inspector, put a new box shape on there, just so it's up above. Let's just make that the same size as our hit area. So we can't actually see that box, but when we collide with this, we're going to want this to go and do something. So now we're going to go and add our animation player onto this. Let's make a new animation for it. Rise on player entry. And we'll do our defaults as we do normally. Jump back onto there, which is the platform object. Take our position of that box platform, and let's at 3 seconds have it all the way up. And let's lock that in place, and we're going to play this. So you can see it goes up really, really quickly. Let's jump back to the start. So we've got that scene. So we can see those different bits of animation there. This box platform, what we're going to do is also create a script onto this. By default, it's going to try and add in the default character controller. So I'm actually going to just delete that original one and detach the script. And so when I attach a script, I am going to undo the built-in script. Now all we want to do is link up a signal, and that's going to come from our area 3D. So node, body entered. I want it to run on the box platform script, and what I want to do is if the body is in the player group, because note with my player node, that part of that player group. So it's actually going to give me some awesome work. So if they're in there, I want to get the animation player and play the Rise on player entry. So let's look at this. Yep, these other two are working fine. Now if I jump on this other one, we have gone up really, really quick. Probably didn't need that animation to go quite that high, but we get the idea. So that is basically how we can have a platform that starts moving on user input. And we've also got some other animation screens. Key thing to take away from this is just set them up using the character controller, and then the player will stay on them, particularly when they're doing horizontal movement.